Hi all, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Maestro. It's Ras. I'm starting a new series on building agents using UiPath. We'll start with very small use cases and later we'll upgrade ourselves and we'll build something at an enterprise level. So today I'm going to start with a simple use case. You can mention like automatic reply from shared mailbox and I'm naming it as SLA notifier. So first I'll explain the use case or what is the problem here and we'll try to solve it using the bots and the agents in UiPath. So this is the problem which currently the team is facing. So let's assume that there is a team IT department is there and they have a shared mailbox. Right now I have named it like maestro3@gmail.com. You can select your own Gmail account. And there are customers sending email to that IT account or IT mailbox on different issues. Okay. They have it might be related to hardware issue or a software purchase, hardware purchase, or a new account. So right now I have categorized into 5. Maybe in actual scenario it might be more than 5 categories are there. The pain point is that they're getting emails, thousands of emails on a daily basis, and in order to track these emails and sending a reply to them, it is challenging for the humans because they have to monitor every time, right? And it is not a value added service also, because they just need to monitor it, and as an initial step or a response they have to respond back to that ticket. And when we respond back to the ticket, we have to mention the SLA also. For example, like for a hardware issue, it might be 5 days. For a software issue, it might be 2 days. Purchase might be a couple of days, 20 days, etc. So this is the high level use case. And the major pain point is because they're getting lots of emails. Okay. So how here from a RPA perspective, let's think about RPA first because we started with robotic process automation. From an RPA perspective, if you see the customers, the emails are coming from customers. So it's not a structured email. It's a very unstructured email. Customers can input any details in that email, correct? So in order to respond or understand that email, if we go with an RPA, it is not possible because it's a very unstructured. But with the help of agents, it is very easy to understand the intent of the email and easily categorize these emails into any of these categories, correct? So definitely that is the reason why I'm going for an agent. One thing you have to remember is that if any process you get, since agent is easy to build doesn't mean that we have to go for agents. If you are able to go with RPA, definitely I would suggest that you have to go with RPA. The reason is there is an additional cost coming called as agent units are getting expired or getting utilized when you are building an agent. So agent should be utilized wherever it is clearly required. Basically, if any human intelligence is required, we have to go for agents. Now coming back to the response, since on each of the response, we have to identify the SLA. And if it is a structured format, I would say that you can still go with RPA. But just for me to use an additional agent, what I'm suggesting is I want to reply based on the intent or to understand the sentiment, and we have to reply like a human being. I need some human intelligence there. So for that also, I'm using an agent. So if you see here, I'm planning to build 2 agents. One is to identify this category. I'm calling it as like a categorization agent. One is to draft the response of this agent. I'll call it as a response agent. And since I need to monitor this mailbox every time and it has to run every time, I'm planning to use Maestro so that I have a combinations of 2 agents in the Maestro. So in this video, we'll cover how to build these 2 agents, how to connect these 2 agents using Maestro, and how we are monitoring it and how we are actually scheduling it when a new email is coming. So all these concepts, definitely we will cover it in this video. Now let's explore each of these steps. So the first step is actually we have to have a shared mailbox, which is already created in Gmail, and I want to connect to that shared mailbox. So this is the first thing, right? So in order to connect to a shared mailbox using UiPath, there are different methods. So what I'm using is an integration service, which is the easiest method. So if I go back to this orchestrator, click on homepage and then go to integration services. So you will come to this screen. Normally it will come to this connector screen. And we know that we have to connect to a Gmail, correct? So you just go for Gmail, click on Gmail. We have to connect to the Gmail, click on connect. Just follow the steps, that's it. If you have already added, it will come as an option. Otherwise, you have to enter the Gmail account and the password, like normal authentication of the Gmail only. So click on connect. So from here, you can actually select the folder. If it is already connected, it will list here. Otherwise, you can actually use the another account and you can actually enter your Gmail and the password. Continue. This is all. You can click on continue. And integration is loading, and finally the integration is successful. So once it is successful, it will actually comes under your connection. So if you want to see like for this particular folder what all connections are there, I have only one connection which is related to Gmail, because as per my requirement I need only the Gmail connection for this project. So that's it all about the integration services. Now the next step is actually to build an agent. Okay, so the next step is actually to build the agent. So from where I can see the options of agent. So I just came here, click on the home button. Just make sure that you are not within orchestrator. We are outside the orchestrator. And in order to go to the agents, there are different options. That either I can click here or I can actually go and click here on the agents. So this will take you to the same page. So once you reach here, in order to build an agent, you can click on build your agent now. One thing you have to remember is that when you're building an agent, maybe you might think that the whole solution I can build agents when I write the proper prompt. For in our case, one single agent can actually categorize and send a response back to the customer. Why I'm not clubbing it? So as per industry standards, it is always recommended to have one goal for one agent so that it is specialized in that goal. There are two benefits out of which. One is we can actually cover all the scenarios specific to that goal in that same agent and it will work as expected. The second is reusability. So if you are splitting based on the goals, maybe a different program or a different process requires the same agent, we can actually reuse it. So that is the benefit of splitting agent based on a goal. So a goal-based thing which have a dynamic decision, definitely go for an agent. So here, I think in order to, we'll start with the fresh, which is more easy to understand the concept. So there are a couple of things are there. If you see for an agent, one is system prompt. What is a system prompt means? So think agent as a new employee in your organizations. So in order for the employee to work first, we have to give a proper instruction to the agent, right? So let's say that I joined a company. Someone should talk to me and mention me like, these are the things which we are expecting from you. You have to follow certain rules here in the company. These many, as much as more information is provided to me, I'll be able to adapt to the office culture very easily. Similarly, system prompt is something we have to tell an agent. For example, it is starting with you are an agent assistant, right? In interest of time, I'll show you a sample. So this is a sample system thing. So I'm mentioning to them, you are an AI assistant specialized in categorizing IT support tickets. So in my case, I'm building a categorization agent, right? Your role is to analyze the content and subject of incoming requests and categorize them into predefined IT issues. So your primary categories are, I'm mentioning each of the category and I'm giving a small description and general inquiry. So when categorizing a ticket, I'm giving more and more information. So just copy this one. I'll paste it here. Okay, fine. But if you click on these tools, you can see that we have an option to use this autopilot, help improve my agent. We will use this later. Right now, let's just go with the system prompt. And what is the user prompt? So user prompt means mainly what input we are expecting from the user. So in our case, what all things we are expecting? We are actually expecting the mail body we are expecting and a mail subject is also we are expecting. So user prompt, identify the category of below details. So which all details? So we need definitely some arguments are required, right? So what all are the arguments? So the input argument is, first thing is mail body. I can give a description. This is the body of the incoming email. Second, I want the subject. So I'll give a description also. This is the subject of the incoming email. So here you might be having a question like whenever I'm adding, it is always coming in the text format, right? That says if you want some integer or some other floating as variables, you can always click here and you can select this one. So we need only three things. Now coming back to the output, what is the output? So the output mainly is the identified mail category, right? And maybe I'll give a small reason for selection. I'll just go with these options. So now identify the category of below details. So I have to give double quotes. I have give mail body and then again double thing. It will automatically give you the options and subject. Fine. I don't need any tools as of now because when I get the mail body and the subject, with the help of LLM itself, I'll be able to identify the category. So here in this case, the tool is actually the LLM only. And context, for now, I don't need any context. So what is the context means? Let's say, let's go back to our previous example. So let's say there is an SOP in your company, in your team. And you, instead of manager explaining you all the details in the SOP, what he will do is like, he'll give you a document and will ask you to read through this document so that you know what all things we need to follow in this department. So similarly, we can also give some context. How to give the context, I will explain you. We have a different response agent. We will get the help from the context. And that is the reason why we have context. Escalation is mainly if you want to involve some humans in the loop using action centers. Definitely we might need to create some app for the front end and they will be coming into an action center for confirming if the confidence is less. Right now, I'm not using all these things, but for my use case, these two are enough. So right now, if I go back to this one, I have an option to recalculate it. So recalculate will actually give me the value of my agent. So I have given few user prompt. I haven't given any examples. So because of that, my prompt is like 50%. It's good to have almost around like 80%. If you see here, input schema is good, tools is good. I haven't given evaluations. There are no evaluations. Definitely we can add evaluations. I'll talk about that one. Prompt is a little less. So we'll go back to this one and we'll see like help improve my agent. This is just to understand like if there is any improvement areas, automatically the autopilot will review the details and it will give us some suggestions based on whatever inputs I have given. So let's see, it will take some time. Okay, if you see, it's already given me like it's good to include some examples because I have already mentioned that you have to categorize based on software issue, hardware issue, but I haven't given any examples. So coming back to the same example, if the manager is giving you some examples when he is explaining things, this is more easy for you to understand, right? So the same concept only. So I have to click on the review suggestion. If you see here, there are different sections: system prompt for this suggestion, user prompt for this one, arguments for this one, and tools. There are no tools, so it's fine. Context search, escalations, all these, they are actually giving you suggestions. So first I will review the suggestions here. Click on review suggestions. So if you see here, it is automatically giving me a lot of examples. Software issue is there, hardware issue is there, new account is there. So I think it is better to accept it because it looks much better than my system prompt. So I'll accept it. So if you see here, it will give me some more examples. Now going back to system prompt or user prompt, let me review the suggestions. Okay, if you see here, it is giving a more detailed one. Analyze and categorize the following IT support ticket and provide the following your response, the identified category, a detailed justification for your categorizations, any additional notes, etc. Click on accepts. So if you see here, it is already in green because it identified that these are the actual arguments required. Okay, now let's go back to arguments. Arguments, I don't think there is any suggestion, so it is fine. Tools, everything is fine. So these all tools I'm not required for the moment. So this looks fine. So now I go back to here and I'll do a recalculate. So we'll see like if my percentage got increased or not. I'm expecting more percentage on the prompt because I have added more things on the prompt. You see if it becomes 60, 100%, which is good. But there are no evaluations. That might be the reason why it is showing 60, but still it is good. So how to do the evaluations? So here, if you see here, I haven't published the agent, right? So there is a debug option here. Just click on this debug option. So what it is coming? It is coming the input details. I am expecting mail body and mail subject, right? So let's say that I'm talking about a software issue. I'll just mention like my Excel is not working. So I'm just creating some scenarios similar to how the customers will send an email to this particular shared mailbox. My Excel is not working as expected. And the subject, Excel not working. Okay. Now let's save and debug because I have given the inputs. You see it is running. It has to identify what is the correct category. So let's see, it will be available in the execution trail. Okay. So if you see here, the agent output, it identified that it is a software issue. And the reason for selection, the issue described involves Excel, which is a software application the user sees. So if you see here, it clearly identified that this is something related to software issue. So this is a good for evaluation set, right? So I'll just click on add to evaluation set. Okay, click on save. So this will give more and more examples for the evaluations. So we'll just keep it like this. We'll add more and more evaluations. So I'll run it again. In order to add more evaluations, I'll just click on debug again. Now I'll change it to this one. I want to create a new account for my new joinee, Shiraz, to CRM. Okay. New request to CRM. Let me save and debug this one. We'll see what is the results coming. So if you see here, there are trace 2 is coming just now. So it is still running. It will give you the output. The input is already displayed here. So you can always come to execution trail and history to see like what all different traces are there. Okay. So if you see here, the identified category is new account. So this is also correct. So let's say that if it is not correct, I don't want to add to the evaluation set. But if it is correct, means I'm adding to evaluation set so that it can learn more and more with the actual examples. So I'm clicking on save. I'll do one more time. So we have new account. I want to purchase HP laptop. Okay, I'll just mention like laptop request. So just save and debug. It will automatically should create a trace 3. Let's see. If you see here, trace 3 is getting created. I want to, let's click on trace 3. What is the output coming? Okay, it's hardware purchase, automatically identified. So I have added a couple of things to evaluation set. Now, if you go to evaluations, so a couple of things are there. I'll just refresh it and let me add to evaluation. I have to click on save. So 3 evaluations are there. So I'll just click on this run button so that it will understand from these evaluations and it will actually add to its memory in the agent. Okay. So let it run. Okay. So run 90%, 100%, 95%. So it's good only. So go back to this one. Let's recalculate it. Excellent. Because if you see here, I can add actually more and more evaluations because I have just covered software, hardware, and then few new accounts only. I haven't added anything on general inquiry or software purchase or hardware purchase. I can still add debug, but in the interest of time, I'm just stopping here. So now my agent is working fine because I have seen the results. I have evaluated it. It is good. Everything is perfect. So I'm good to publish it. So I just click on the publish. If you remember, I haven't selected orchestrator. Why I have created, I was actually creating agent outside the orchestrator from the home page only, correct? So here is the option where I'm actually selecting which is the tenant. So I don't want to go for workspace. I'll go with the orchestrated tenant only. Click on publish. I'll just close this pop-up so that we can see what is one. Solution publish started. Once the publish is completed, it will automatically give me a pop-up. Okay, actually it gave me an error. So I think it might be because of the name. There might be a solution with the same name. So I have to rename it. It's good to rename always. So since I'm making for YouTube, I just start with YT underscore solution. And this is, okay, let it save. And the agent name, what I'm going to give is, so this is a categorization agent, YT underscore categorization agent. So this will actually help me to understand the name with this keyword YT. Now let me try to publish it again. Okay, now if you see the solution package is already created, I can go click on check package so that I'll see like where the package is coming. So if you see here, when I'm creating an agent, it is actually creating a solution, which is little different from the process. Normally in the process, one file is getting created, but here the whole solution is actually getting created, correct? So let's go back to tenant. And if you see here the solution, you see YT underscore solution is getting created, correct? So here the status is in ready status. I have to click on this one, deploy the package first. So I'll remain everything the same. No, this is not required. Destination folder. I'll keep it under share resolution only. I'll just review it. So I'm expecting a solution to come under this folder. Let's see. So it will display all the components. I have only one categorization agent. So you have to remember, like solution, we can actually add more agents into a solution, more tools into a solution, context counting, everything. But I'm not covering all those things because I'm focusing more on different use cases only. So I'll just click on deploy. Okay, now the deployment is successful. If you see here, the status is in progress, correct? So it was ready. Now it is in progress. Now let's see what is the option coming here. I think the deployment is still in progress. Once it is successful, I think it will be changed to successful. Now let's click on this one. So I have to activate the deployment. If you see here, the current status is inactive only. I'll just activate the deployment. So YT underscore solutions I have to mention. Okay, and I'm activating the deployment. So the deployment is active. So if you see here, it comes as a solution. If you zoom a little bit, you can see that it is coming with S. S means a solution. So if I have to click on this one, a folder is getting created. If you see here, one process is also there. YT underscore categorization agent process is here. Okay, so the final step of the process is actually to send an automatic response. So the context is whenever we receive an email based for any of these categories, we identify the category, and based on our template, we identify the SLA and we'll reply back to that email. So now the question is, in the previous example, what I have done is like I have actually explained everything in the definition of an agent. But here in this case, we have to send a reply based on a different template. So instead of defining everything in the agent for each of these categories, right now we have only 5 categories, but in actual scenario, it might be like 10 or 15 or 20 categories might be there. So if you're defining a mail template for each of these 20 templates in that definitions of the agent itself, it will work definitely, but it is from a reusability perspective, or in order to maintain that code, it will be difficult. So what I'm preferring is I'll create a Word document like this, where I'm highlighting all the details related to that mail template. So for example, like for software issue, I'm defining that the resolution is normally take to 2 to 3 business response. And regarding the response, I'm clearly defining like this is a template which I have to use. For example, like thank you for reaching, and this is within 3 business details, and some details I'm putting here, and some sentimental adjustments also I'm highlighting here. So the agent will be able to understand like this is what expected from me when a software issue category is identified. This is the standard response I need to give. I can give you more details here. For the example, I'm giving these many details only. Similarly, I'm giving for all the categories. Okay. So now the question is, it is in my Word document, right? I have to link this with my attachment, correct? So right now I have saved it in my desktop. So now coming back to Orchestrator, how I can connect this Word with my agent. So in order, before I go directly to the agent, right now it is in my desktop, right? I need to bring that document to my Orchestrator. So the best way to store any document or any context which you want to do as part of the agent is go to Orchestrator. So we see here, my whole solution is within this folder, right? So I just go to the parent folder. I can actually select any folder, because once we create a storage bucket and index, we have an option to change the folder and select it from there. But I'm selecting this folder. Go to the storage buckets. So there is no storage bucket created. I'll create a storage bucket. So normally, let's say that this is something related to IT, right? So this is IT department. So any process or any document related to IT department, I'll be storing in the storage bucket. It's up to your convenience how you want to segregate the documents. So just click on add. So I just created a storage bucket. Now I need to upload the files. I click on this, browse, upload it. Okay. So what I have done is like I have just created a storage bucket and then just uploaded a file. So file is now there in Orchestrator. Still now I haven't connected with the agent. Also, this is just a document only. So what we need to do next is, so here from the storage bucket, we just store the document only, right? In order to convert this into a vector database or something, we have to go to the indexes. So always remember that if you want to use any document as a context for the agent, there are two steps, actually three steps. One is storage bucket. You first bring that document to orchestrator, which is very basic. Now create an index for that storage bucket. So click on add index. It's a very simple step only. You can give some name. So I'm giving IT department index. Okay. Data sources storage bucket. So we have an option to select the folder. It is in this folder, so I am selecting that folder. And we know the name IT department, file types, all include everything as looks fine. Click on save. So index created successfully and currently being populated. If you see the status is queue, let's refresh it. It is queued. Okay, now the status is in progress. Now it is successful. So one thing you can remember, like if let's say that if you want to make some changes on your document, what you can do is like you can always go back to the storage bucket, upload the document again, and it will replace the existing document. And from here, you just need to click on sync so that it will automatically get the latest document from the storage bucket. So right now what we have done is like we have created the storage bucket and the index, but it is not yet connected with the index with our agent, right? It is not yet connected with our agent. So how we can do that? Now we need to go back to our agent. So we haven't created any agent so far. So now we need to create the agents. Click on agents. So similar to how we have created for our previous categorization agent, I'm going to create one new agent. Build your agent now. First thing, it's good to rename the solution. So I'll rename it. So I'll just keep it like start with YT underscore response agent. Okay, 1 second. I'll rename it response agent. Okay. This also I'll just rename it YT underscore response agent. So this I'll rename it like response agent solution just to make sure that this is part of the solution. Okay. So now let's start with the arguments. So what all arguments I'm expecting? So I'm just expecting a response content from this agent, right? So definitely I need to send mail body. I can give a description also. Email body. Then mail subject. Description would be subject of the email. What else is required? I need the category also, right? Because the previous agent automatically identified the category. So I'll have to mention that also. So I will mention like IT ticket category for which the SLA to be identified. It's good to give description because the agent will go through all these descriptions also. So this is done. So now the output, what is the output I have to get? I'm expecting mail body. I don't need the mail subject. I just need the response mail body only because we are replying back to that email, right? So the subject will always be there. I just need to know like what is the response I need to give it back. So the arguments are ready. So then now the system prompt and the user prompt. So system prompt, I can type like you will receive mail body subject and the identified category as input. Refer the context named as. So I have to add the context. So I'll just leave it blank now. We'll add the context and we'll add that to get the template for the received details. I'm not typing much of a details here because I know that Copilot will give me some suggestions. So I'll just give very random one. And what is the user frame? Enter the mail body subject and the identified category. Enter the mail body subject and the identified category for which the response needs to be generated. Good. So here you'll receive mail body. This we can actually change as an argument, mail body, and this also we can change it to an argument, mail subject, and the identified category. This also I can change it to category as input or further. So here this also I can change it to arguments, mail body, subject, and the identified category. So now here, if you see tools, I don't want to add anything because LLM itself is my tool. We'll definitely cover some sessions where we are adding tools. But on the context, I have to click on the context. Okay, so if you see here, it is already giving me different context. So if you remember, I have actually created something for IT index, correct? So I'm just adding that context here. So the IT context here. So I can add the description. This is the context which needs to be used for getting the template of the identified mail category. Okay. So here we might need to add more details. For example, like what is the tone in which we need to respond and all. We'll see like it might be mostly suggested from the autopilot. So right now I'm keeping it like this. And here I have to mention like IT index, IT underscore index, context name, IT underscore index. So escalations, everything is fine. So for now, let's calculate the score. Same as what we have done for the previous agent. It gives me very average only. The reasons is prompt is not good. Tools is fine. Input schema, evaluations we haven't done. Same as what we have done before. So let's go back to this agent and help improve my agent. So it will identify like what is the context of this agent. They'll give me some suggestions. That's similar the way we have got suggestions from the previous agents. So let's wait for the suggestions. So we see here there are a couple of suggestions. Clearly define the agent task, step-by-step instructions, context usage. So I'll review the suggestion. If you see here, it is giving me proper details. You are an AI assistant designed to generate appropriate response to IT-related email. Your task is to analyze the provided email body and if IT errors, let me accept it. Okay. So here, one thing I could see is it hasn't given the arguments properly. So I'll just do one thing. I'll just change it to arguments clearly. Mail subject and identifying the category, IT category of the issue. So this also I'll just change it to category. So this will make more sense. Fine. And now user prompt also, there are a few suggestions. Fine, accepted, mail body, subject, category, all good. I think this looks fine. Let's do one thing. Let's recalculate. Yeah, we have a little more on the prompt side. Maybe evaluations are not there. So let me debug it. We'll see like what all are the expected. So a mail body. I'm frustrated with the service of IT department. My Excel is still crashing even after sending multiple emails. Okay, just to see like I'm frustrated. So Excel crashing issue. Category hardware issue, correct? No, software issue, sorry. Category is software issue. So let's give a try. So if you remember, it will come under execution trial. These are just giving me the logs only. So if you go to the execution trial, it will have the mail body, mail subject. See the tools which you're using. It is using IT index also as a tool. LLM call is coming. Let me expand this a little bit. Okay, so you see the mail body coming. Dear user, thank you for reaching out and sharing your concerns regarding ongoing issue with Excel crashing. I sincerely apologize. So if you see here, this is coming because I have mentioned like based on the sentiment you have to reply. This can be, I assure, root cause of the problem works with the resolution within 2 to 3 business days. We appreciate your patience, your support team. Perfect. So here, one thing I have noticed is like it is coming in brackets, dear user. So I'll just mention here, if the user name is not defined, just start with dear only. Kindly don't include any values which are not present. Okay. So this one I'm adding the evaluation set. I'll just click on save because this is correct only. So now I will do one thing. I'll again debug one. Need to purchase laptop. HP laptop request. Category hardware purchase. So let me save and debug. So we see here the history becomes 2. There will be 2 traces, one which we have already done, and evaluation I have added only one evaluation. I haven't run this evaluation, but let's wait for this one. I think this I have already added and I click on save. I think I missed to save it. Okay. The same one I can add multiple times. If let's say that I'm saving, I don't think this is the correct behavior, but I'm able to do that now. So here, dear, if you see here, dear user ambiguity is not there. Best regards your IT supports. So, and if you see 4 to 7 business, add to set, click on save. Okay, so we have a couple of evaluations here. I'll just click on this run button so that it will evaluate and understand and keep store it in this in agentic memory. So let it run. So now if you see the evaluation is completed successfully, now let me go back to health score and recalculate it. Okay, perfect. Now it looks like 74. If you see the evaluation, if I add more and more evaluations, the score will become high and it will definitely become more than 80%. In interest of time, I'm good with this agent. I just need to publish it. Click on publish. Orchestrated tenant. This is fine. I don't want to stay in workspace. Click on publish. Okay, package is successful. I'll just check the package. That will take me to orchestrator. UiPath orchestrator. Okay, if you see here, response agent is ready, but it is not in active stage. Let's click on this one. Let's deploy the package. So where I want to deploy it, I want to deploy it in this particular folder only. Then these all are fine. Click on review. So if you see here, these two products are there. One is the response agent is there, then the IT index is there. I can deploy it. And I might be getting an error because the IT index is already there in that particular folder. If you see here some validation error. So let me validate it. Okay, if I click on this edit, I will get an option to use existing. So use existing is fine. So I just add use existing and then continue the deployment. I hope you understand the issue because there is an index already named the same in that folder because we have deployed it there. So we don't need, we just want to confirm that we have to use the existing one. So the deployment is starting. Let's wait till it is successful. So it is successful already, but it is still in inactive status. So click on activate deployment. So when you deploy something, you have to remember that there are a couple of steps are there. What was the name of this one? Response agent solution. Okay, let's go. Solution, activate deployment. We have to publish the package. We have to deploy it. We have to make it active. So now, if you see here, there's a new folder got created. That is like YT underscore response agent solutions. So we have all the required one. One is for the categorizations and this is for the response agent solutions. So just to recap, in our previous sections, we have actually created a connection for shared mailbox. Then we have created an agent for categorizations and we have created an agent for response agents. So these are different blocks currently. We haven't connected each other. So in order to connect it, I'm actually planning to use Maestro, which is mainly used for agentic orchestrations. So Maestro, you can click from here or you can come here and you can click from here. So this is the home page for the Maestro. So we have to click on start modeling for creating the Maestro. So what is Maestro? Just a high level. You can think of a flow chart in a process. You will be connecting different modules here, right? So but at a program level, if you want to connect different programs or different systems, including agents, or if you have different conditions, or it's something related to a big program, it is always suggested to go for Maestro. And Maestro have more capabilities. It has the option to do parallel processing. It is normally running from the serverless boards, and it has a long running workflow capability also. So right now, if you ask me specific for this particular use case, whether I need to go for Maestro or not, definitely it might not be mandatory because I can actually handle it with a flowchart also. But for just to learn and how the Maestro is working, I'm using Maestro here. So we have to click on start modeling. Okay, so I can, let me see if I can rename it here. I'm renaming it since it is for YouTube. I'm just clicking YT underscore agentic process. Okay, and if you see the file format is BPMN, and here you have different options are there: start date, intermediate, end. Definitely start at end should be there. Otherwise, what will happen is like if you are not giving any end option, if you're not connecting to an end block, what will happen is like it will keep running. So it has a capability, as I have mentioned, it has the capability of long running workflow. So I'll just minimize this one so that we can see this. So in order to move this screen, you can actually click on space bar and move like this. Just make sure that you're clicking on the space bar. Okay, so we have start and end date. Okay, if I connect directly from here to end, then it won't do anything. Let's say if I click on debug, it will just move from start and it will come to end. That's it. So we haven't kept any steps in between. This is just to show you like how it works. It will have a graphical representation also. You see, it will become like this. There's no action happen. Go back to the design mode. So we have a start mode. We can click on delete. Okay, so here start mode itself, if you want to see what all properties are there, go to this button, and if you see here start event descriptions actions, this is a major thing. So there is no current argument as such now. If you want to give some arguments similar to any process, you can give arguments, but see what all actions are there. So here wait for connector event. This is the only option which we have. So either we can actually schedule this as a process so that it will run at every interval without any event. But in our case, what is the event? If you remember the process, whenever an email comes, it has to identify the category and reply. So my event is an email receiving. So I need a connector event. So click on connector event. So definitely, what are the connectors? When I talk about the connector, so there are different connectors. It's basically integration services only. I need a connector for Gmail. Fine. So automatically it will identify the connection because I have only one connection, which is this one. And what is the trigger? So when an email received, this is a trigger for me, right? So I'll just select the trigger. And for which folder? It should be in inbox folder. Click on save. No filter required. And that's it. So output automatically it has an object called as responses created. So this is my starting point. I'm just moving here so that we have some more space to include other steps. So start event is clearly defined. So whenever an email is received, automatically Maestro will run the process. So we'll see like how it will be published and how it will be automatically run and all. We'll do that. So now coming back to my steps. So share mailbox, it's very clearly defined. When an email is coming, this will start activating. So now I want to call the agent, categorization agent, correct? So in order to call the categorization agent, you see the task. Mostly we'll be using start and task. These things I think I'll cover in a different section. So just go for the task. Categorization agent. This is to identify the category of the email. Fine. What is the action? So I want to start an agent, right? I want to start and wait for an agent, not an external agent. What is external agent? It is a different concept. But I want to start and wait for the agent. So click on this. It will automatically give me different options. If you see here, I have actually started with YT, right? Let's search with YT. So if you see, it is coming YT underscore categorization agent. Perfect. So the inputs are automatically coming. What is the input? What is the output? And output is also coming, identified mail category and reason for selection. So mail body, I have to come from the start event, right? So you can minimize here to see like what all things are coming here. If you see here, we have different components. One is process metadata, that is different. Start event based on this one, categorization event. So my input for categorization agent is coming from the start event. So because I have already selected when an email is received, so expand start event. I know there is a response object is there. And what I need is currently the body. So if you see here, attachments, categories from subject, there is body. So I just select this one. And coming to the subject, follow the same variables. Always minimize it so that you will have a more view on it. Start event. And I'm looking for subject. I have the subject here. Perfect. So what I have done, I have included what is the input, what is the output. Now I just need to connect it. So click on here, connect, and you connect to this one. Perfect. So here I have already done this one. I can actually click on, and I can actually go for the debug to see like whether it is working fine or not. Let me try to click on this one. So let me debug this. I'm not sure which email it will take. I have given the connections, but there is no start event happening, right? I haven't sent any email, but during the debug, I think it will take the latest email. Let's see how it works. So start event message. I think everything looks null. Maybe it might not work as expected. Let's see. So you see categorization agent output. I want to see what is the output. And find general inquiry. This email is an invitation into an event fusion and do not possess any specific issues. Okay, so it identified it as a general inquiry. Okay, so now the categorization agent, if you come here, we connected these two dots. Now I want to respond back to my email. So I have to add one more task. So I just add the task in between this one. Fine. So what name I have to give? I'll give like response agent. Actually, this response agent is actually giving me the content only. It is not responding, right? So this agent will give me the response content. Because I haven't added any tool for responding. I can actually add that tool as well. But right now I'm just getting the content only. Start and wait for agent. And then agent, the name is, I'll just search with YT, response agent. Fine. So the input is mail body, mail subject, and category. Okay. So mail bodies, like the way we have done before, always better to minimize everything. So now if you see, we have something from response agent also. So this body, I'll get it from start event. Go to the body of the email. Perfect. Now variables, mail subject, always do minimization so that you can, for easy visibility. Subject, you can search here also, better. Subject. So if you see here, it is coming under response and start event. Okay, perfect. So response agent. So we have given mail body and category, correct? So category also variables. I'll just search for category here. So I can see categorization agent is there. Under inside categorization agent, there's a category. This is what we need to select. Okay, so if you see here, we have given all the required inputs and we have the response mail body also outside. So now if I run this one, let's see what is coming. Similar to agent, it will come under execution trail only. So we can see the flow. It will start. It will categorize the agent. So response agent, we got some error. Let's see what is the error. Real expression, action, activity inputs, response agent failed to validate expressions, could be parameterized. Okay, let me see what is the issue. Okay, so the reason I identified is, if you see here, the inputs which I have given for this response agent, out of which the category which I have selected, right? This is not correct. So I need to select it again. I think I'll go back to my previous method of minimizing and expanding again. So it will be coming as categorization agent and it should be identified mail category. I think this should work now. I selected something called as category before. So I'll go back to design mode. Let me know if my change got reflected here. Let me go to this one. Identified mail category. Okay, let me debug it. So while debugging it, it will randomly pick up one email or it might pick up the latest email and then it will do the categorization agent and the response agent. We just want to see like what is the response coming here. It might not be in proper HTML format. I'm not expecting in proper HTML format because we haven't defined anything. It will be in normal text format, I believe. Let's see what is the output coming. So response agent is working. So far, there is no error. Let's wait. Okay, perfect, successful. So now if you want to see what is the output from the response agent, we go to variables and see what is the value. So here output, agent output is what I want to see. Okay, so here if you see, dear Shiraz, thank you for reaching out and sharing the exciting details about the incoming UiPath Fusion event. Anyway, we appreciate the invitation of the event, the outlined influence. So this is a generic email and it is responding very generic. As a human being only, it is actually responding back to this email. But I want to put a condition here. For general inquiries, I don't want to respond. I want to respond only if the categorization is different or it is defined category, then only I want to respond. So I want to put a condition here. So I'll go back to the design mode. Let's do that as well. So here, so I will add a condition here. If you see here, there is an option to exclusive gateway option is there. So I just add that exclusive gateway option. So I added a condition, right? So I have to, if in order for me, I can give the name here. Condition, I'm just giving the name here. Okay. I can, if I want to define what is the condition, I need to give a connection here first. So one will go to response agent, one will go to int. So this is my condition. So I haven't defined this one. That is the reason why it is showing in red. So I just click on this one. So at which condition? So this is basically defined category condition. So defined category. So identified category is within our scope. Okay. And what is the condition? So condition, I can use expression editor. So here the variable is insert variable. I know it's based on the identified category. So I'll just do the minimize so that it is easy to identify. So from the categorization agent, identified mail category. Okay, I can define here also. Let's use this one. So I will know what describe your expression here. Identified mail category is not equal to general inquiry. So Copilot is coming in many different places. Let's see how good the results are coming. Okay, perfect. So this is fine. So if you see here, variables.identify mail category not equal to general inquiry. Okay, click on save. So here I have to define this outside scope. I'll put the condition here. Expression editor, I'll just mention like this. Identified category is equal to what general inquiry. So click on this button. Equal to general inquiry. Okay, you see variable dot identified mail category equal to general inquiry. So this is perfect. Click on OK and click on save. So now if you see for the general inquiry, it will go out of scope. If it is any defined category, then it will come to the response agent. So let's run it and see whether it is working as expected. It's always good to test at each step to confirm that whatever we are adding to the Maestro, it is working as expected. It might take some time, but it will make sure that whatever you are building, it is in the right direction. So categorization agent is identified. It will go to the condition, but it came to response agent. Let me see what is the issue here. Just give me 1 second. Let's see in the categorization agent, it is general enquiry. The identified output is, agent output is identified general enquiry. So the spelling is general enquiry. So let's try the example here. It's general enquiry only. Okay, maybe it could be because of the upper and lower case. Let me give a try on that. Changing to general inquiry clearly. I have to go back to the studio. I'll try for both. So these are some of the benefits of testing at each of the steps. It might be because of the case sensitivity. Okay, let's run it again. So it started the event, it goes to categorization agent, then it should come to condition, and it's usually it goes to end because it is general inquiry. So if the category is not general inquiry, then only it will come to the response agent and it will generate a response. Now we know that the response agent is there, so we have to send a reply also, correct? So I'll just click on this one, add a task by clicking on here. This path I need to delete. This also I think it's better to connect directly. Connect. Fine. So now what I need to do, I'll just move this a little bit here. Perfect. And this one, click on this properties panel, send reply. For sending reply, I don't need an agent, right? I need what option is there? So I haven't created any RPA workflow for that. This is not correct. We'll see. Okay, execute connector activity. So we'll give a try on this one. Which connector? Definitely Gmail connector, right? We have already added a connector and there is an option to reply Gmail connector and Gmail connection automatically coming. And here search for reply to email. Perfect. So definitely few inputs and outputs are required. The email to reply. So let's see what is the email to reply variables. So it should come from start event. Definitely it should come from the start event because there we are actually fetching the email. So in the start event, which one we have to select? Not the object. We have to go for ID. So we have an ID option here. Select that ID option. And what is the body to reply? Let it load. Body also it should come from the variable. So click on this option, variables, and minimize it. From which agent I have to get the response? I should get the output of the response agent. So response agent, what is the output coming? Response mail body is there. So this is the output. So now click on here. So we have given all the required details. We have given the input, we have given the output, and ideally it should automatically respond. So in response, let's say that we have different options. I want to save it as a draft so that I can test it. We'll remove it if I'm sending an email. We'll remove it once it is in the production. But right now, I don't want to send a reply to any of the emails because it is randomly picking some emails, right? So I just click on this one. So I want to identify what is the category. So I'll do one thing. I'll send an email from my mailbox first so that I have something similar for the right category in my inbox, and we'll see whether it is output is coming as expected or not. Just give me a few seconds. I'll send an email. Okay. So now let's say that I'm creating a new request and I'm just sending to maestrovishras3@gmail.com. So I sent it. Okay. Now I have logged into my shared mailbox access. If you see here, the mailbox is different and I got the request. Now let me run this process. Just give me 1 second. I'll go into the debug mode and I'll run it and see if it is replying or not. We'll click on debug. Hopefully, if it is selecting the latest email, it should go for this path. If it is randomly picking, it might go for the outside scope. Okay, I think it is going in the right category only. And it should send a reply also. We'll see if it is working fine or not. We are testing it for the first time. Okay, it responds. Okay, it sent reply also. Perfect. So let's see what is the email categorization email output. It is new account. So I think it picked up the latest email only. And let's go back to response. You are an AI assistant. Okay, it's fine. So let's go back to send to draft. Perfect. If you see here, thank you for your request to create a new account. Email out. Team will process your request 1 to 2 business days. This is coming from the our mailbox. So we'll do one thing. I'll do one thing. I'll change this one. Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll change the draft to actual sending. Okay. So I'll go back to the design mode and send reply. I'll change the property from draft to. I'll remove that draft so it will send it automatically, and then I'll publish the Maestro. So because everything is ready now, right? We are good to publish it. We are just publishing the Maestro. These all are fine. I'll just click on publish. I'm going into the orchestration feed. So this is successfully published. Now let's go back to the orchestrator. So similar to a process in from Studio, it will also the same process when we are submitting it from Maestro also. Let's go back to the automation cloud and I'll show you from where you can actually see the package and how you can add it as a process. It will be an agentic process. So I'll go to the home page first. So go to orchestrator. It will be under your tenants feed. So here, go to your tenant. Normally, when a process is there, it will comes under the packages, right? So go for the packages only. But here, the only difference is this is RPA related. But what we have done is agentic process. Whatever we are doing in Maestro, it will come under agentic process. If you see here, YT underscore agentic process, we'll see like what all options we have. Upgrade process, seed process. So it is already there. So what I need to do is I want to come here under this folder. I'll click on plus. I'll click on add process. And if you see the package name, let me search for YT. Agent process it is coming. So if you remember, it is an agentic process. These are agent, this is agentic process. Agentic process is coming from Maestro. So I click on this one, package version, this is all fine. Click on next. And if you see here, it actually displays all things that are related to the Maestro. If you see the connection is there, if you come back to this one, first part, it is already there. Second, the trigger is there. Process categorization agent, the second part is there. And the third one, it is the response agent, it is also there. So when you deploy it, it will show you all the components. Click on next. You just click on create. So it will be YT underscore agentic process and click on close. So now if you see here, the agentic process, it's already there and the job section, it is not coming. So if you remember, the trigger for this process is whenever I send an email, it should trigger the process. So there is no scheduling happening because it's an event-based process and it can actually happen in parallel. So let's say that if I send a couple of emails, like 4 or 5 emails in one shot, because customers might be sending from different locations, different customers, right? It will automatically have different flows here. So I'll show you that. Let's send a couple of emails and see like how it is coming. So to test the parallel flow, I have actually drafted 2 emails, one for hardware request and one for the software issue, and both I'm sending to maestro@gmail.com. So I'm just sending here 1, 2. I'm already sending these 2. So if you see in my sent items, I have already sent this. We have already sent these are hardware requests and the software requests. So what I'm expecting, let's go back to the orchestrator and jobs. Let's see what is happening. So ideally, what is expected is so this is 1 minute before it's for the new account, I think. So let's refresh. Okay, now if you see within 1 minute, I got a reply from here. So I think it took around like 2 to 3 minutes, maybe some delay on the connections and things. So, but if you see here, I got exactly a reply. Thank you for reaching out regarding the software issue or experience. Our team will investigate and within 2 to 3 business days. If you see here, the response is perfectly coming from it. It looks like a human reply only, right? Now go back to the hardware request. So thank you for your hardware purchase request. Please know the following details regarding the process, SLA details, 4 to 7 business days. Everything is coming from your context. There is few formatting issues are there, but overall you understood the process, right? How the Orca Maestro is working. So whenever I sent a message to this one, then automatically I think I'll get a reply from here. So this is how the process is. So I sent a couple of more requests also. So I'm just getting the reply from the Maestro now. So I believe this is the you got a fair understanding about how the agentic process is working, how we are creating agents, how Maestro is connecting, and what are some of the benefits of the Maestro. I know I have covered only few things related to Maestro, and there are few other scenarios also which needs to be covered in agent, which I'll be covering in the next sections. So I hope that you like the video, and if you have any questions, definitely comment in the below sections, or you can send an email to me, or you can connect in my LinkedIn as well. So thank you all. See you in the next video.